As a full-time stay-home dad, I do get actually a lot of compliment. Wow, your husband is taking care of the children at home. It's so rare. You are the best dad that I've ever seen. I'm Amos, I'm 34, and I'm a full-time stay-home dad. Here are some stereotypical statements from the internet, and I'm here to comment on them. Dads can't have, as special as a bond with their children as moms can. That's not true. You can always have a bond with your dad very well. And for me as a father, you have to have the willingness to communicate and interact with your child, even when they don't understand what you're talking about or what you're expressing. Losing the respect of my wife, women seem to be evolved to want a man to be a provider, so I would be concerned if she would find me worthless. My wife respects me a lot. We both have quite strong communication in that sense that we both should be the provider in any point of time, because this is our children and our family, and we should be involved equally in a balanced manner. So losing respect is really not an issue in our home. I feel useless without a job. I don't feel useless. A job is not as important as your children and your family, because this is the milestone that you could have as a father, and if you miss this, it will be gone forever. I'm a full-time stay-home dad for a year now. I have all along have this plan of being at home as a full-time stay-home dad. I've actually planned this 5 years ago. So my friends, my family, they are not surprised at all. They are really proud of me. So what I pick up from my past job, I would say critical thinking. This critical thinking is very important when it comes to handling our children. When I was working in cat cafe, it was my first time handling cats. I was the manager there, their full-time staff also. We have to handle the operation, the sales, the hygiene, and customer service, chit-chatting with customer when they have questions. My wife is a full-time nurse. She will not be contactable during her shift. So I will be the person who is at home, taking care of our children, making critical decisions to solve the problem right away. Even if I can't solve, at least things are stable. And when she comes home, it's more like receiving a report. And then okay, today what has happened? We communicate with each other. So when she takes over me, she knows what to do right away. As a full-time stay-home dad, I do get actually a lot of compliment. Wow, your husband is taking care of the children at home. It's so rare. You are the best dad that I've ever seen. So I do feel that a father's responsibilities of taking care of children, it shouldn't be complimented, because this is what we as parents have to do all the time. We always hear how women suffer, or they are very drained out, very exhausted, and a guy can never understand how tough it is to become a mother. But being a full-time stay-home dad, I can relate to how drained the mom is. There's definitely some feminine duties that my wife can only fulfill, but not a father. But the father has more strength. So when I'm really drained or she's really drained, one cute thing that we do is that we give each other real hugs. No matter is it at home or in the public, we will do that, because this is the support that we need. There's one time I remember my son had this thing called colic when he was 2 to 3 months old. It's a gas issue and their digestive system are not fully formed yet, even after born. Every night he will cry and break down until his face red and all this thing. I'm running downstairs pharmacies to quickly get the remedy, and right now he has outgrown the condition already. At this kind of situation, the parents have to be as calm as possible. There's no point panicking, because if we panic, it's not going to solve the problem anyways. So thankful for all the jobs that I have. All this multitasking, thinking on the spot, it really helps and contribute to my current situation as a full-time stay-home dad, because my wife is not always at home and nobody is with us. The challenge about being a full-time stay-home dad is when we go out for services, for example, services that require checkups for my wife or my children, they do tend to focus more and communicate with the wife directly and not look at me when I'm the one who responds to them. I felt a bit neglected when I visit clinics because all the brochures, all the pamphlets are all for mummies. There's no daddy. In fact, daddy is very minimum. The tradition mindset that the guy always must be the person who provides for the family financially, I don't think this is a right mindset in some sense, because at the end of the day is be able to provide sufficiently for what is required at that point of your life. For me and my wife, we don't compare who is earning higher, who is earning lower, because it's a family income. So can it cater to what our requirement is? If it doesn't, what can we do with it? If it does, we will be happy with it. I would say the most fulfilling moments, aside from the usual, oh, they are already standing or they learn how to crawl, but it's more of like, oh, you are able to comfort your child down and they are actually listening to you. And when you are doing nothing, they actually run towards you to seek for comfort. That is more fulfilling than the milestone fulfillment. I do still see myself in this role till my kids get rebel. So to those who look down on stay-home dads, I do feel that you should take a step back, because many times what stay-home dads are fulfilling is tougher than you think. So my advice for guys who are currently a father or who wants to be a full-time stay-home dad, I think the first thing in mind is that you need to structure your home like a SOP, but not so strict per se. It can always be modified. You shouldn't have expectation on this structure that you build. And I do feel that fathers should have the intention and willingness to start with, because if this is not there, you will burn out, you will get flustered, and you will feel like giving up. Even with this willingness, you will still feel like giving up, but you remember that you decided to do this. And when days are not fine, you will put in more effort in balancing your mental to get back to this station of duties. Do what you have to do, and then just be with what your wife and you have discussed, and ensure both parties are constantly reminded that this is why we are doing this. So you do not need to be concerned about the outside noise at all.